Hey everybody, welcome back to another Surgical Tech Tips, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the age-old question that every student has, every nursing student has, any medical student has, and just an argument altogether in the medical field, and that is, what shoe do I wear? And I'm going to kind of go over this review of a new shoe that I bought that I actually really like. Stay tuned. Now, if you don't want to watch the whole video and you just want to know my thoughts on this specific shoe, this Clove shoe that I got, my thoughts are I love it. Specifically, I love the material and how easy it is to clean. It feels good on my foot so far, and unlike other reviewers that I see for like shoe reviews and stuff like that, I didn't just unbox this shoe and then start making a video about it. I've been wearing this for about a month and a half now. I've done many 12-hour days, I've done a couple 14-hour days on them, and I've done a lot of really long cases, heart cases, where you're standing for 5-6 hours at a time without a break. So I can tell you that these have gone through the ringer and they've gone through the test of standing for long periods of time in the OR, and so far, I like them. So what makes a good OR shoe? Starting off, I thought about this for a while, and I know starting off there's a lot of students out there that are like, oh, what's the best OR shoe, what's the best OR shoe, blah, 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 blah. But I think it varies from person to person. You know, some people have plantar fasciitis and different foot issues that they may have to deal with, and they may need like a certain specific shoe with certain padding or certain soles. So for me specifically, there's two main things that I really care about when it comes to an OR shoe. And number one is fatigue. You know, if I get like foot, leg or back pain or fatigue in any of those instances with a shoe, for only standing for small, you know, periods of time. I mean, granted, if you're gonna be in a case for 8 hours standing, there's no shoe imaginable where your legs aren't gonna feel like absolute crap afterwards. That's just, you know, your physical human body standing for that long of a period. But for me, that's number one, is fatigue. And then number two for me is how easy it is to clean. I am not on the boat of wearing shoe covers. I absolutely hate shoe covers. I just think they're just totally obnoxious, and I feel like they're slippery, and they make my feet like sweat and stuff like that. It's just not breathable. I don't like it. So when I look into a shoe, I want to make sure that it has no perforations like anywhere on the toe box. So when I have blood and bodily fluids that fall onto the shoe, I need to be able to clean it very easily. So those are my two main things that I look at when I'm looking into a shoe. Third, probably style. Style is kind of a big deal, especially when it comes to the OR. It's the only way you can kind of separate yourself from other people, I guess you could say. Everyone's wearing the same scrubs. Mostly everyone's wearing the same scrub hats. And the only thing that you have to make yourself somewhat of an individual are what type of shoes you wear. So I guess style could be a third point. Let's go forward with a pros and cons list of this shoe, just to kind of run through this quickly. Big pros of this shoe. Style. I think the style is on point. I'm coming from the Dansko shoes, so the Clogs shoe is definitely not a very stylish shoe. I think this shoe looks great. I have been on the boat of wearing slip-on sneakers for a long time. I love slip-on sneakers. I've always, you know, if I've had tie sneakers in the past, I just tie them loosely so I could slip them on. The waterproof material that surrounds the entire shoe and toe box is fantastic. It's very easy to wipe with sanding cloths. You can see from the picture here, That was after a case. I had some blood, bodily fluids that had dropped on my shoe. Easily cleaned with the Sani cloth. Supposedly on their website it says that it's the material will never dry out. So I hope that's the case, because that is not the case with obviously leather, like the ones on my Dansko shoes. But yeah, styling on point. I got the gray and blues. I think they look good. They have some other colorways that I'll post up here. They all look fantastic. A lot of the shoes that they make, they're pretty cool looking. The grip on the bottom is another huge pro. This is the grippiest shoe that I have ever used. I find myself hitting bumps in the road on all the time. And you know, it sounds like a basketball court sometimes when I'm in the OR with how much these shoes squeak when I stop, but they're super grippy, and it's especially nice, you know, after you do a room turnover and you have that cleaning detergent all over the floors. I have no issues with slipping around at all, so it's pretty great. And a lot of the times those like OR steps and stuff like that that you stand on if you need a little extra height, those can be a little slippery sometimes. No issues at all. But yeah, those are some of the biggest pros that I've seen. Now for cons of the shoe, I would say that this shoe is only great for people with normal feet. People with wide feet, steer clear of this, because the toe box feels narrow. And oddly enough, like the heel of the foot, like, you know, back here, feels like it's almost a little wide. I don't know if maybe it's just because there's not a lot of padding back there or something, but it is a narrow toe box shoe. So if you wear a wide shoe, I would not suggest getting this shoe. Their website suggests a half size up if you wear a wide shoe, but yeah, I don't know if I trust that. I would wait for them to come out with a wide version. Another con is noise. As you can see from the videos, they do make a lot of noise. It could be from, you know, the type of wax that they use on the flooring at my hospital as to why they sound like so sticky all the time. But you know, this is even after cleaning the bottoms of the shoes and everything, and you know, they've basically always made this noise ever since I've gotten the shoes and I've been walking around the OR. For me, it's not a deal breaker. I could care less. It makes some noise, who cares? I care more about the fact that I could just wipe them clean and not have to wear shoe covers. So my final thoughts on just OR shoes in general, I think are, if you don't mind wearing shoe covers, or if you like wearing shoe covers, I highly suggest getting a very nice running shoe with, you know, a nice wide toe box. You know, our feet tend to kind of expand a little bit as you stand for long periods of time, so it's nice to have a wider shoe because of that. So I think shoes like the Hokas and the Kurus and stuff like that, while they may be kind of goofy looking with how like big and wide their soles are, they're really, really cushiony, and they're meant for, you know, like marathon runners. So if you're okay with you know, wearing shoe covers all the time, absolutely get yourself like a nice marathon running shoe, because the cushioning in those shoes is fantastic and it'll last you a long time. Now, if you don't like wearing shoe covers like me, then I highly suggest either these Cloves or some other type of shoe with a waterproof or fluid resistant material that covers the whole toe box of the shoe, just so it's, you know, easy to wipe off. Danskos were my first shoes, those Clogs, because that's just, you know, what everybody wore in the OR. So I just thought that was what I had to wear. But my only issue with that is they just tend to start looking really nasty and ugly after a certain amount of time of wiping them off with those Sani cloths, and you know, the leather just dries out. And I think after a few years of using the Clogs, your your feet kind of mold to whatever type of material. It's like a wood material or something like that in the sole, but so they do feel comfortable, but it's still, it's hard, and it does hurt your feet, you know, when you're standing for really long periods of time. And I mean, with the Cloves, they're basically just like normal tennis shoes, so they're much easier, much more mobile, much easier to move around in. You know, Danskos, you're kind of standing up really high, and you don't really have a full articulation of your ankles. You feel like you're gonna roll your ankle all the time coming out of them. But yeah, so that's kind of my review of these Clove OR shoes. I hope you guys liked it, and kind of a little tidbit into my thoughts on OR shoes in general. I hope you liked the video. Discuss down below in the comments what type of shoes you personally wear, and look for links down below too. I think Clove didn't sponsor this video or anything like that, but I did email them and ask them if I could share some sort of code with you guys. So I'm gonna leave down in the description below some codes that they sent me from, I guess, some people that they sponsor on Instagram. And if you buy shoes from those people with that code, you can get some compression socks and compression stockings, which is cool. And I think some of the money goes toward charity as well. But yeah, Clove is a very new company. I think they're only like a year old, so they do have a pretty cool backstory. So I'll leave their website in the description as well. And that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.